Hello. Oh, wow, you can actually see it. Okay. Eh, whatever. I'm watching home movies. But I'll turn it off once if we get people in here. Still a little frustrated. Hey, Jaden. How's it going? This won't be a long one, by the way. This stream. We're just gonna do like an hour or two. I'm good. Just woke up. Still frustrated from last night, honestly, but whatever. Yeah, I'm kind of doing this drawing as a point of vengeance. I want to complete it to prove a point, I guess. Then we'll do a big, huge, epic stream tonight. But like, so part of it is like, in a weird way, I'm kind. So, and part of it, in a weird way, I'm kind of on a schedule with these sorts of things, in that I have to complete. In that I have about 6 months to complete getting up to monetization status before it goes back again. And if it's going the way it's been going, I should be able to hit it. I should be able to hit it before the end of the year, and hopefully by this summer. So a night like that is really frustrating because it throws off the schedule a tiny bit. Because I'm getting about 10 hours for every stream I do, and it works anyway. So last time I'll talk about that guy, but yeah, yes, yeah. Well, partly the reason I'm doing this at this time is because of summer break. It's because my numbers almost always go up during summer break. Um, my numbers always go quite a bit up during when school gets out. So, how are you enjoy? How are you? Anyways, how are you enjoying summer break? Hmm. Yeah, yeah, exactly. We got more people. Because my up to now, during break, my during the school year, my highest numbers are on the weekend. But when school is off, it's like almost every day is a Saturday, pretty much. That's not true. That's not true. Highest numbers will still be on Saturday, but yeah. See, I started streaming, Jaden. I started streaming during the pandemic. My, my God. were numbers wild back then. I would have like 20 people in my room every night because of that. Okay, tell me about it. I started my YouTube channel when I was 19. When I was 19 in college, so I could post short films I was working on in film school. Anyways, so I didn't start posting on here again until about 2 years ago. So, okay, tell me about it, Finn. I want to hear. Yes, I was 9 months old when I made it. I would. Okay. Uh, a point. A point I would say though, Finn, though, is something to keep in mind is that yes, your story takes place in 1963. It's about people from 1963, but your audience. Okay, yeah, but something to keep in mind with all this stuff is that your audience will not be in 1963, and you are not in 1963. And so, just I don't know what the scene is exactly, but I'm just throwing that out there. That's something you should keep in mind. Yeah. Well, then that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. If you I don't even think I don't think it's good to whitewash the past. Also, like some people try to do. So, but just keep like I that would just be the piece of advice I would throw out there is like just like as somebody who also writes stuff said in the past quite frequently. That's something I usually try and keep in mind. Um, yeah, tell me, is it the sequence on the Twin Towers? Okay, no. So I remember that controversy because Jane, you'd be surprised I was alive for that. What it was, it had Spider-Man webbing up uh, to stopping two thieves, I believe, on a helicopter by webbing them up between the Twin Towers. Yeah, I am 31 years old. I am about to be 32. My birthday is coming up next month. Yeah. Yeah. Well, here's what I would say. Yeah. Yeah, I don't. My personal opinion is I don't believe in whitewashing the past, even if it makes people uncomfortable, and it sure as heck makes me uncomfortable at times. Um, but like the goal is not to also use that excuse to revel in doing those sorts of things, and it doesn't sound like what you're doing. Yeah, exactly, exactly. I agree. I agree. Like, what's the point of looking at the past if we can't understand where we came, how we've moved on from it, and how we've yet to move on from stuff. No, it sounds like it's fine. It's a risky scene. Do, I mean, doing that stuff is always a risk, you know. But if you're willing to take on that risk, yeah, I say go for it. Yeah, sure. I'm over 1 trillion years old. I've been around longer than the Earth has been in existence. Yeah. I mean, you know, that stuff's always a risk, so, you know. Have you heard that? Have you heard that people are freaking out over the announce? I can't believe like people are freaking out over the announcement of the new Assassin's Creed game. I'm like, it's Yusuke is gonna be the male protagonist, and I'm like, I can't believe people are still freaking out about stuff like this. Uh, and I have to figure. Yeah. Well, I mean, why not though? Like Yusuke is such an interesting like historical character. You know, we don't really know a lot about who he was, but the fact that there was an African man serving as he wasn't technically a samurai because samurai you have to, that's a thing you're born into, but um, yeah. But I've always found that story so interesting. Yeah, I mean he makes perfect sense for an Assassin's Creed protagonist. Um, yeah, yeah. Well, the main female character is Japanese. But the main, whatever. Worthy. It's always black people, isn't it? People have trouble with it. Yeah. I mean, I don't have an issue with it because the story. I mean, yeah, unfortunately, there's just never been a Japanese protagonist in any video game ever. That's just not a thing that exists. Uh, but um, Jay, that's actually kind of a cool story. You should write that. Write that story. I like that idea. Yeah. Yeah. Oh well, Connor is just a boring protagonist. Also, is the problem. Yeah. Yeah. Well, Connor's just a boring. That like it's weird with Assassin's Creed because you can't go too far. Okay, so here's the thing with Assassin's Creed I've been thinking about. You can't go too far in history because at some point they'll just have guns. So like they wanted to do an America set story, but you can't go too far in history. Too yeah. Yeah, write that up. Yeah, that's a decent little short story, Jaden. Write that up. That'd be a decent little short story. There's a mysterious. Yeah, I like that idea. Like, there's a mysterious. People are mysteriously teleporting away, and a lone detective is out there trying to figure out who's doing it. I don't know. Well, yeah, you don't have to do exactly how the dream ended, but I like the setup. Yeah. That's kind of my Okay, this is a fairly specific complaint about something, but it always bugged me in that movie. So Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man movie, the Amazing Spider-Man movies, that really bugged me. When like initially his sole motivator for going out and fighting crime was simply to track down Uncle Ben's killer. Like the first movie, I didn't like that all he was doing was looking for the person who killed Uncle Ben. And it's like, that plot point in Spider-Man comics gets, you do that early in the plot point, and it's a less, it's about Peter like learning responsibility. But in the first Spider-Man, the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movie, like that's a plot point that extends the whole movie, and they never resolve it really. Well, that's fair, but I didn't like. I don't like that. I don't like. So like my general thing is I don't like I don't like that plot point though. I don't think that's a good. I don't know. I've never liked that plot. I found that plot just you just reminded me of that. Like that's such a. I don't like that plot point. It's like okay. Did you guys ever see the Runaways TV show that they did for Hulu? First of all, that was a very bad show. No, not that. What Finland said. What Finland said about the whole game being just one having one main motivation. I mean, yeah, there is. I prefer to think of it as more telling stuff you want to tell about and being sensitive to people's experiences, but you know. No, the worst Spider. No, the worst Spider-Man movies will always be the 1970s, the 1970s things that they made. It would take a lot. It would take quite a lot for any modern Spider-Man movie to sink lower than those. Um, I don't know. I Here's the thing. I think Andrew Garfield was a really good Spider-Man. I think he was well cast. I think the movies are filmed interestingly in some ways. So, okay, this is hard to explain, but the reason I don't like the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies is because I feel they're so empty. Like it doesn't feel like real people. It feels like a set on a movie. If that makes sense, it doesn't feel like he's interacting with anything. So I don't think I don't know. They're not enjoyable. I don't know. Hey Zill, how's it going? Yeah. Uh yeah, well, that's the difficulty people that's the difficulty you have with like a historical setting is that it needs to both be you know, like the thing I struggle with historical settings is you want to tell like you don't want to sugarcoat you don't want to whitewash things to make everything was fine, everything's always been fine, but you also don't want to like luxuriate in like the awfulness of certain time periods because it wasn't that all the time, you know because at some there's a level where it goes from telling the real history to just getting to to people who just want to say those stuff and not get in trouble. And there's a line there, and it's hard to figure out where that line goes exactly, but that line is always there. Hazel, how's it going? Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning to you. I don't like I don't like Mark Webb as a director all that much. I'm not a huge fan of Mark Webb. Is the thing. Oh, thanks. Probably won't get finished, but I'm just being super anal about it. Like, her face still feels a little off. Jade. Her face still feels a little bit off. I mean, she's doing this, so that's fine. Anyways, it's, you know, the best way to learn art is to like I don't have Disney Plus, unfortunately. I don't know. I let it lapse, and then I was just like, I haven't got it back. I know about I know that the '90s Spider-Man thing happened, and I'm very happy for that because that was such an annoying cliffhanger that they left it on. If you've ever, I don't know if people have watched it, but the animated series from the '90s that Spider-Man did leaves on a terrible cliffhanger. And they resolved it finally, and it's all good, and I'm happy. I don't know why I'm. Yeah. Oh well, the Spider-Man's animated series. Um, in the '90s and early 2000s ended with Mary Jane being stuck in the multiverse, and Peter and Madam Web, and Peter going out in search of the multiverse to like find Mary Jane again. So X-Men '97 revealed that Peter did find her, and it's fine again. So that's good. Ended that thing. Still feels off. You know, Jaden, never say never. '97 was a big hit. Maybe they'll bring back the other animated series that they did. Um, yeah. You know, show if they do bring back shows, if we're just talking pie in the sky here, uh, Spectacular. I don't think they'll ever bring that one back, which is a shame because Spectacular was really good. You know, it's so funny. You know, I have a rant. I don't. You know, the thing about Disney with Spider-Man is I don't think they totally get how to do Spider-Man well at times. Um, at least with the animated series, they keep making a weird mistake that bugs me. Like they keep putting Spider-Man on a team. Okay, so like modern day Marvel and or Disney seems to be very uncomfortable with the idea that Peter was a solo superhero and was just doing stuff on his own. like that's the comics are him just being a superhero by himself and just kind of figuring it out as he goes along, and they keep trying to put him on like a team or have him have a mentor or something, and that I don't know. Like in the comic, like that Ultimate Spider-Man comic that show that they did. It's like, oh no, you have to be part of a team now. You're part of a team. And it's like Spider-Man was never really part of a team until much later. Yeah. 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 I don't know. That's my pet peeve is that like I like Spider-Man comics, but Spider-Man comics are unique in a lot of ways, and one of them. So Stan Lee, and as we talked about, we should not Stan Lee should not be given sole credit for the creation of Spider-Man, but this is definitely a Stan Lee thing that he did. Stan Lee always hated like always hated sidekicks as a concept. That's just a thing he would always complain about is people having superheroes having sidekicks. And one of the motivations for making Spider-Man is he wanted to make a superhero a teen superhero without the need for a sidekick. Like he wanted to make a teen superhero without a mentor. So like it kind of goes against even like the real basic conception of Spider-Man to give him a mentor like that. Anyways, Jaden, I literally just woke up. Like 20 minutes ago. So I'll tell you how my day is. My day is I woke up. I was like, what should I do? And I was like, you know what? Screw it. I want to stream. I want to stream again. I want to stream. I feel like streaming for a few minutes, so I got up and I streamed. And I was asleep, and then I wasn't. I do stuff. I got do stuff. Do stuff after. Let's see. Okay, so I'm not that great with mouths. Like or lips. Like I've tried to make some more like do like more complicated lips, but often I find like here's the truth. Often I find play the first one. Yeah. You know, I like Mr. Negative as a Spider. That's one of the better additions I think to the Spider-Man Rogues is Mr. Negative. I think he's a really good character. not the hugest fan of Dan Slott's run as a person, but I don't know. What's the general? Oh, who? Nobody but here about you, Jaden, reads comics. Do people have a general consensus on Dan Slott's run? He's I don't know. He's mixed in my opinion. I mean Dan Slott is the one who created Mr. Negative. Well, he also wrote the original Spider-Verse crossover. So those are two positives. Those are two plus in his corner. But his run is pretty. There's a lot of. It's pretty, kind of. You know. Here's the thing with Dan Slott. Part of Dan Slott's problem is he was really and this shouldn't affect the work, but I was there when he was doing this, so it shouldn't affect the work. It's not like he did anything indefensibly morally, but Dan Slott was very annoying on Twitter for a long time. is what he was, and he would constantly get in fights with people online over his Spider-Man run. He would just call out random small accounts of how dare you say this? How dare you say this? And it's hey, writers, don't do that. Don't do that. It never endears people to your side. Also, Dan Slott. Oh, I just saw that. That's good. That's a good bit. So the thing with Dan Slott is that I'll stop talking about him. This is all stuff when I was young that I was complaining about. The joke mirror. The thing you don't know about me is I'm practically a real life Joker. I worship. Is there pictures of me the year after The Dark Knight gets released where I am dressed up like Heath Ledger's Joker for Halloween? Yes, there is. Did I watch a ton of makeup tutorials to figure out how to do it really well? Yes. I also once dressed up as Two-Face, and I had to learn how to do the makeup on Two-Face. Anyways. Oh, did you hear, by the way? In news that is exciting to me, uh, very exciting. Nick Cage is officially returning as Spider-Man Noir for a live-action series. Oh my god, they're so bad! Oh my god, they're so bad! Yes, you are 100% right for saying that. Oh, they are the worst parts of that game. Okay. But it's like, okay, so here's my thing. When I am playing a Spider-Man game, here is the thing I want to do. I want to play as Spider-Man. I don't want to do stupid forced stealth sections in the middle of my exciting Spider-Man game. Oh, I hated that. I hated those missions so much. I hated those missions so much. Yeah. I like Miles as a character. But yeah, and like, but I hated those missions. I didn't want to play those. Those sucked. Anyways, the MJ ones. Yeah, it's I don't want to play as a normal human being. I want to play as gosh darn Spider-Man. I should not be punished in the video game for progressing further by taking away all the mechanics I signed up for. Anyways, that's my bone of contention. It's still a good game. Listen, something can be good and have stupid parts that irritate you. is my general consensus, at least. Like, there's, I love a lot of things, but I'm fine like saying no, this was dumb. Yeah, sure, I'd love to. Okay. How does that chin look? What is the issue with it? The chin looks wrong to me, and I can't quite get why. By the way, a little bit of it is that the what you're seeing is a little bit skewed just from the way the perspective of the camera, but uh, I've tried a few ways to like get it to be more accurate to like I've tried a few ways to get it to be more accurate like in perspective, but it's like this is the best I can do. So but it is good because it nice. Okay. Cool. Yeah. That's it. That's what's going on. I mean, video game older video game graphics will always look bad compared to modern ones. It's just the way it goes. So one of my favorite games as a kid was the adaptation of Spider-Man 2 that they did, the video game adaptation of Spider-Man, the Spider-Man 2 movie. If you, I don't know, which is, by the way, very influential on how modern day. Sorry, it's very influential on how modern day games with Spider-Man work. And when I was young, I remember those graphics looking really good. And I looked back at some gameplay of it recently, and I'm like, oh, no, they don't. They don't. So that will just be a constant experience in your life. Games that you thought looked good, and you go back, and it's like, I don't know. There's something like your mind just accepts any graphics eventually. Usually. Hey, hey, I gotta go to the bathroom. Be back in 1 second, okay? Boop. And we're back. We're back. Hey. Sorry about that, but I am a human being. No, this is finicky, but it's just not 100% the way I want it to go. So I must keep. It is not 100% the way I want it, so I must keep doing it until it looks right in my mind. Maybe it's the neck. Maybe the neck needs to be a little bit more obviously bent, and then I'll fix it. Yeah. It was. Okay, let's see. Man, I really need to cut my hair. I kind of like how the long hair looks, honestly, but it's getting it's getting unmanageable. I should cut it. Is that your summer vacation? You're playing the Spider-Man games? Yes. Good way to spend the summer, making a comic book. I wish I had done that. All I did during my summer breaks was watch TV. Oh, you were on? I didn't see you. Thanks for the raid. Oh. Hey, Funk. How's it going? I felt bad. If you were on, I would have. If you were on, I would have. I would have just hung out on. Oh, okay. Just hung out on your stream. How's it going? Well, it's a metaphorical raid. How's it go? Good to see ya. So, How's it going? Funk. How's it going? How are you feeling this fine and glorious morning? Oh, thanks. Do you not hear the loud construction sounds that they've been doing? Ugh. Well, I'm very mad at my neighbors, by the way. They're building an extension on their house. It's probably just it's gonna be loud construction sounds all summer. Um, it's very well. There's like 5 or 6 people all doing construction projects. It's like, I live in a nice suburb, away from the city, away from the noise, and there's a lot of negatives about living in a suburb. But one of the nice things is it's not supposed to be loud. There's supposed to be no noise. But there's constant noise. Because people have infinite, drive me up a wall. So what's the plan for today, Funk? What have you got working? Oh, by the way, I don't know. I assume everybody here is already following you, but I'll shout you out anyways. Shout out. Oh, thanks. Thank you. Nice. And if people are curious, yes, I'm the one who drew Funk's avatar. That's a drawing I did. I've been meaning to. It's funny. I never really even finished that. I don't know. I'm debating it. Oh. I'm debating it. I initially had intended to give her some ink, but I think it looks good as a pencil drawing now, and I don't want to mess up the pencil. I've ruined so many drawings by then inking them. And it's like, I don't want to ruin this one. So you just gonna hang out today? That's the way to do it, really. Hang out, party. Read Shogun. Spilled ink. Ooh, send that to me. That sounds fun. God. That was my experience living alone. Oh, just... what was so frustrating to me about living alone? Is like... I would spend all this time cleaning up my place. Because I'm like, oh, I don't want to live in a sty. and you spend hours doing it. You spend hours doing it, and it's like, okay, finally, everything is clean. And then the second you clean everything up, it says, well, I have to make some food. Immediately gets dirty again. It's like, and you're like, just why did I do all that? Why did I do all that work? Oh, I know that. Yes, I did not know they had a collab channel. I follow both of them independently. I was unaware that they had a collab channel. Okay. It's like, yeah, the frustration is so intense when you live alone from that. It's like, it's cool. Yeah, I'll go. I like both of those creators independently. That is, it's so frustrating because it's like, why? I just, man, when I lived alone, that meant I tried to eat out a lot just because I was just trying to avoid, because I didn't want to clean anymore. I was so sick of cleaning things up. Always. There we go. Nice. Well, no, you're becoming a full blown animator. I'm excited. I will. Well, that's cool. Is it still Yuri Lauthwaite? How do you pronounce his name? Yuri Lauthwaite, who voices... he's voiced Spider-Man quite a few times. Yuri Lauthwaite. Didn't he voice him in Spectacular? Spectacular? I'm excited to see the new model. If you haven't been, Jaden, Funk is a VTuber. No, Funk. There we go. That makes it better. I saw a video talking about shading, and they said, like, people often like treat like you should treat shade like its own light instead of like just make that part of the characterization, that it's that your model is always winking at people. Yeah, Yuri yeah, Yuri Lauthwaite. Lanathal. Yeah. Let's see. He has a like an impressive like young guy voice. Oh, he's 53 years old. Wow. Lau Launfal. Ah, damn it. Yuri. Yes. Yeah. I thought he was voicing him still. Lauenthal. 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 Looks like I should here. So Funk, how is Shogun? Oh boy, how's Shogun? Yuri Lauenthal. Yeah. I'm bad at saying word names specifically. I'm not. Oh, cool. Part of me wants to move on from this, but okay. Lowenthal. There we go. Lowenthal. Yuri Lowenthal. That's a far too long to find pronunciation guide for that. Lowenthal. Yuri Lowenthal. Okay, moving on. Yeah, he got it finally. Yuri Lowenthal. I always find it funny that Yuri Lowenthal, I think he's in his 50s now, still has a pretty good young guy voice. I don't know, he's pretty good. I like Neil Patrick Harris. I thought his version of Spider-Man was really great. Neil Patrick Harris was in a Spider-Man show that I don't think anybody remembers. The guy who did, but I don't know, they're all pretty great. The guy. Do you guys remember the Neil Patrick the Spider-Man animated show that Neil Patrick Harris was in? I don't know. It was an early CGI MTV made show, and I will not be showing clips from it because I need because the YouTube is particular about copyright violations with these streams, and I will not be violating that. Okay, what do we think? Lowenthal. Um should line it up just a little bit over here. Okay. Oh, right. That's one thing we have to shade. We are properly shading. We are proper shaders now. Everything has to be consistently shaded. Okay. What do we think? Thank you. You wouldn't think this drawing would cause so much problems, but it did. Yeah, she's probably good. Theoretically, I could ink her, but we'll see. Usually, what I do before I ink something is I scan it so that I have a permanently preserved copy of the pencils, just in case I screw something up. So yeah, she's pretty good. I'm happy with how she turned out. Oh, remember this drawing? I can never get the neck right. I was never totally satisfied with the neck on that, but anyways. Yeah, she's an elf. Well, that was the request from that was the initial request. So somebody this comes from because somebody asked for to draw an elf with shoulder length hair. She could be a Vulcan, I guess. Yeah. I was considering doing that map. I don't know. I haven't played Fortnite in a very long time. Yeah. I mean, in a way, if we really think about it, aren't Vulcans just elves in space? Aren't they essentially just space elves? Yeah, pretty. I mean, they essentially are, right? Yeah, that's essentially what the Vulcan are. They're just space elves. I don't know how conscious that was, but they literally have pointy ears. And they have the whole like, oh, we're elves and we're disconnected from the ways of the world sort of thing. Oh, anyway, I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram, but I made a little video about the whole Fortnite lo-fi girl thing. You should. I don't know if you can see it here. Oh, damn it, you can't. Let's see. If you can see them. Anyways, it got 130,000 views. I mean, I still got energy. I could do another drawing. Instagram, I've had my two most successful things I've ever done have been through Instagram. I had one video reach. I haven't checked it in a bit. Reach, but last time I checked, it's hit 2.8 million. and lately, and now I've had this thing hit 100,000. Yeah, it's still 2.8 million. I had an idea. I don't know if I'll finish it, but I did have an idea. 1 second. Okay. Um, I've always said this, but I'm always surprised that like an animated Lo-Fi Girl show was never proposed. Was never It never came to be because like I always thought that would be a big hit. I think it could. Well, now they've got Synthwave Boy, so that you can do that. Yeah. I'm very familiar with. I vaguely remember that. I'm very familiar with that whole thing. So, if people don't know, the originally what they did is they posted a clip from a Studio Ghibli movie, um, just on repeat of her studying, and then that got in trouble. So, what they decided to do was instead of take it down, they just designed their own character in the style of her. I've actually never seen that movie, but yeah, yeah. I'll watch. I'll give it a watch. I haven't seen it. You know, whenever I'm using a reference, I always wonder to myself, why do I flip it? That's all. I always flip it. And I never understand why I do that. I always flip the reference when I'm working on it. Oh, what's... Really? Oh, that sounds ass. That does sound ass. I can't believe they made a live action sequel to a Studio Ghibli movie. That's shocking. Also, I'm vaguely aware that I'm mispronouncing it. Do you know it's actually not pronounced Ghibli or somebody? I saw somebody, a Japanese person on TikTok, say how it's actually pronounced, but it's totally slipped my mind. Yeah. Yeah. Ah, that sounds. Hey, why must there be okay, that's not fair. Sometimes I think live action adaptations of animation stuff could work. But I don't know. A lot of times, most of the time, 99% of the time, they suck a lot, don't they? Like, I don't know. Two things I think that could work well in live action, animated movies that if they adapt into live action, I wouldn't have a problem with. I think Atlantis and Treasure Planet would be cool to see in live action. That's so funny. So nobody in the world is pronouncing it correctly. Yeah. Well, they were both kind of big flops, but I think those movies could you could easily make those movies those are more franchisable movies, I think, than oh god, the the prequel Lion King movie that they're making. And then I looked up who the director of that one is. Funk. It's Barry Jenkins. Barry Jenkins is directing that one. Barry Jenkins is a great director. Oh, God. Barry Jenkins directed Moonlight. And I'm like, why? You're good. You're such a good director. What are you doing? Yeah. It would. I mean, I love them as anime. If they want to do more animated stuff with those, I was like, huh. This was my legitimate thought. Like, huh. Huh. Is the name just similar? Yeah, those would be good. Although the last time they did a Dragon Ball Z movie, that was a huge flop, so... Yeah. I mean, there's a bunch of good directors out there that could do like a Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I'd love to see like a Hong Kong director or something, or like get a chance at it. Or oh, like Wong Kar Wai or something. That'd be cool. Or somebody good with like fight scenes. I don't know. Like Dragon Ball Z, like probably should be directed by a Japanese person, though. Probably, right? Yeah, definitely should be directed by a Japanese person. I think we can all. Yeah. Yeah, like it's funny. It's like, oh, who'd be cool? What are they doing? What are they doing lately? Everything, everywhere, all at once. What? What are the Daniels doing? Like, what's their next movie? Okay, that's weird. Um, yeah, I haven't heard any. Oh, they're doing a Star Wars thing. Um, I guess they're working on a Star Wars thing. I was thinking, the people behind would be cool for a Dragon Ball Z film. Everything, everywhere, all at once would be a cool pick. But they're doing a Dragon Ball Z film. No, they're working on a Star Wars show. I guess that's their next project. I saw it with my little cousins, and they really liked it, so I liked it. That's my opinion on that movie. I mean, I'm a Star Wars fan, but I was yeah. I had a good time with. My little cousins liked it. Liked it. I had a good time watching it with them. So I don't really think of anything. Can't think of it. Can't be too negative to it. Yeah. Why is it that like? Okay, this is my opinion, at least a little bit. Um, I get like the way of directors now is you do interesting indie project and then you go direct a franchise picture, and I'm like, I get it. That's like the one for me, one for you sort of mentality directors nowadays have, and I get it. That's fine. It means that it means that cool like hip directors bring their stuff to get to play on bigger budgets and bring their stuff to famous stories, and they also get to secure funding for their cool hip indie projects. So I think all in all it's a decent thing, but I don't know. There is something so depressing about like, oh, like these guys like they did all this like cool innovative stuff. Yeah, we're not. Yeah, we're not. Their next project, corporate Star Wars movie. No. I would argue Thor Dark World was much worse. I don't know. I like Christian Bale in it. I thought his performance was really cool. I think it's a pretty good ending for Marvel, the Thor Marvel, honestly. You know? It feels compromised. Like, it feels like there should have been more to it in a lot of ways. Well, yeah. Well, that's a pretty big positive that it has a memorable villain. Marvel has struggles with memorable villains. It wasn't as good as like some others, but I didn't hate it, Jaden. I'm sorry. I can't get mad. I can't. Sorry to disappoint. It just I just didn't hate it. I don't think it's like my favorite Marvel movie, and I'm probably never going to rewatch it again. But yeah, I did watch it with kids, and that colors my opinion a little bit of it. But I didn't like have a bad time watching it. Like I watched that movie. I'm like, oh, this is fine. It wasn't like the best movie in the world, but it's like it's fine. I mean, I liked the god scene. I liked the scene with all the other gods. Um, what else? I thought Russell Crowe was funny in that. Funny as Zeus. What else? Um, I hope we get a Hercules movie. I like Marvel's version of Hercules. I also think it's like I also think it's not a bad ending for Marvel's version of Thor. I haven't seen it yet. That's my honest opinion. I haven't seen the third one yet. I gotta. I imagine so. I need to get around to seeing it. I love James Gunn. James Gunn is I think my favorite Marvel director. Also, what is it? It's not By the way, Jaden. The Eternals is the worst Marvel movie. Let's get something clear. The Eternals is the worst Marvel movie. that one is. That one sucks. I don't like the Eternals to begin with. Hey, 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 Nadira, how's it going? Well, yes, it was. How are things? How are things going? How is the day treating you? I don't like the Eternals to be. I'm good, just hanging out. I don't like the Eternals generally to begin with. I find them kind of boring. In my opinion, the Eternals are the weakest Jack Kirby creation. I'm good. We're just hanging out. We're drawing. I finished the draw. I mostly finished. I had a random dumb idea for a drawing, so I'm doing it right now. Um, no, even worse than that. Yeah, yeah. And that director, and it's directed by a very good director. I think about that all the time. Uh, who's the director of that? She directed Nomadland. That she won an Oscar, then immediately went on to direct that. Um, sure, I could. Sure, let's draw Naruto. Um, yeah, why not? I don't see a reason why not to. Believe it. I'll do a quick sketch of Naruto. Do it. Yeah. Well, we're getting that Jon Snow show. Oh wait, that isn't happening anymore. I don't know. Okay, I have a theory. At least one problem, I think. I think Marvel, at least in my opinion, is falling into a DC's trap now of trying to introduce superheroes in other movies before they get their own. Like before, Marvel's plan was each superhero got their own movie, their own series, and then the team ups were, later. But Marvel has started to fall into the trap. I think at least of like introducing too many characters in other projects than spinning them off. I don't know. I'm not the hugest fan of the Eternals to begin with. I'm a huge Jack Kirby fan, but I think that's kind of one of his weaker comics that he did for Marvel. I also I don't like here's the thing. I don't really like the premise. I of the Eternals. I don't like, oh, that there's been these ancient gods who have just been guiding humanity. It's like, well, if they're guiding humanity, then they did a crap job of it. That's what I say. Well, with the Greek gods, you're at least, the Greek gods are like, you're not supposed to like the Greek gods necessarily. You're just supposed to fear and respect them because they're, impotent brats who will do stupid things. Really? What are they saying? What's this drama? Book Talk always has some drama going on in it. What's the I haven't heard it, I haven't heard of this one. But that's kind of the that's kind of the point though of like Greek gods is that they're supposed to represent like nature and like how like the destructiveness of nature. They're not necessarily supposed to be an all loving. Oh, I bet they're hyper focused on one particular one. The Hades and the abduction of Persephone. I do make I do make them. I do, oh my god, I make so many shorts. It's all like it takes up a lot of my time. Thank you. Yes, yes, he does make a lot of shorts. Yes, I shouldn't. That was that was prickish of me. Yes, I do make shorts. Yes, yes, it is. Yeah, yes, I do edit them. Um, it is. Yeah, editing. Oh my god, is editing important? It's also really annoying to edit sometimes. I will say this. Jay, that sounds like a good idea. I should do that. Um, I will say this. Not, not anybody in this chat, but I do have some friends. I do have some friends who also make shorts, and I'm throwing a little bit of shade here. I hate doing it too. Not anybody here, but I will throw some shade, especially to my fellow millennials out there. Edit out your damn pauses. Edit out the millennial pause. I see so many people I know go like their videos start and they go like, so here's what I'm talking about today. I do that too. I do that too. I all my videos when I film them, I do that too, where my videos start like this before I talk. You know what I do? You know what I do to fix that? I go into CapCut. I cut that out. Yes, I do have friends. Believe it or not, I do have friends. Oh, thank you, Nadira. So tell me a little bit about yourself, Nick. Most of them are online these days, but I do have friends. I've talked about this before that like my social circle is now totally online, pretty much. Ugh, leaving your computer. Why would anybody do that? How long have we been on for? Ooh, okay. I mean, I'll keep going. Partly to make up for the disaster of last night, so which will not be saved, by the way. That night has gone into the dustbin of history, and I'm very glad it has. You know what? I don't feel like doing a crossed arms. We're just gonna do head and shoulders. Yes, I should do that. I mean, if people want to submit me their writing, I'd be happy to look at it. Um, riff off, terrible, and his whole deal, but nobody has. Partly because I'm very like. I don't know. I'm very particular about stuff. That's fine. I need to practice with necks more. Necks always get me in trouble, I find. So Nadir, Nadira, tell me a little bit about yourself. Are you an artist? I take it you're a Naruto fan. Okay, there's my Naruto. I've successfully done a Naruto. You know what? Well, I'll leave an ink. Or this ink is dried out. Yeah, no, I won't make a react. I don't usually make. I don't make. No, I've never made a react. Mm-hmm. Sure. Mm-hmm. I know. I do edit them. Um, I've had. So sure. Oh no, I was just focusing. I was just focusing on getting this done. There we go. Here we go. I don't know. This is probably not the best Naruto drawing anybody's ever done, but here a quick little Naruto sketch. I even inked it. Isn't it beautiful? Isn't it beautiful? Yeah. People keep saying that about my stuff. People keep saying that about the eyes. I don't know. Let's see. And back to what I was working on, actually. I guess I always make them look a little bit haunted. Where is it? Sure. Here? Sure. There it is. Um, Is it lovely talking to you? Lovely talking to you. I don't know. How long have I been on? A little bit I was trying to make up for last night. The whole weird disaster of last night. How long have I been on for? Sure. I don't think I'm ever gonna really make reacts. I mean, I did. No, I made one react a long time ago. I was just bored. But I don't. I've made two. I don't know. I'm probably never gonna do that again. But maybe. I don't know if I'll ever hit 1 million subscribers. Okay. Guys. Yeah. You know what? It's probably time to call it here. We did a little drawing. Did a little extra drawing. Call it here. This was a bonus stream for how. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I did do that once. I forgot I did that. You know what, Jaden? That was me desperately going like, I don't have an idea for a video today. Garfield trailer came out. I guess I'm doing that. Yeah. Yeah, I could, I guess. But I don't think I'm gonna. Yeah, that's not something I'm interested in pursuing as an idea. Okay. Guys, yeah, I think I'm going to call it here. Don't worry. The stream later today is going to happen as usual. Today, the morning here was a makeup stream for the disaster that was last night. Okay. Talk to you guys later. Have a good time. Thanks for the tips, dear. And keep going.